let's get to this new poll that CNN has out that is just causing so much fear and trepidation within the Democrat Party right now because the unthinkable could actually happen. I say they have only themselves to blame because they keep lying to us over and over and over again. And when you lie to the American people over and over and over again, they get kind of sick of it and they start looking around for the guy who's been told was lying. We've been told he was lying, and yet it turns out he wasn't lying. And so consequently, Americans are increasingly saying, this guy's not so bad. And Biden is. Biden is. So you're looking at Donald Trump and Joe Biden being neck and neck. They both have favorability ratings in the public of 35%. Now, that's not huge, but the fact that they're neck and neck is really telling you quite something. And here's what's more interesting. Roughly half of all American voters right now, registered voters, say they believe Donald Trump would do a better job with this country than Joe Biden is doing now. I mean, look, I'm just a policy wonk, right? Like, I loved the policies that we saw in place. Some things could have gone better towards the end. I don't think he should have shut down the economy. I was quite vocal about that. Landed me in a whole bunch of trouble, but I don't care. I'll say whatever I need to say because I feel very strongly about these things. That was probably my only quibble. For the most part, however, in terms of the overall policy, it was some of the best economic policy that we have seen in years. Some of the best tax policy, although I personally didn't benefit because I live in one of those northeastern states that used to benefit from this sort of transfer payment that Donald Trump got rid of, but it was the most fair policy, and we did a lot to really help see some job growth, see some middle wage growth, and fortunately get people back to work. Inflation was low. Unlike now, we got 16% inflation. Thank you very much. Joe Biden likes to tell you otherwise, but we know the truth. And so again, when they lie to us and they lie to us and they lie to us, at some point, Americans just get kind of sick of it. And this is something the Democrats are kind of cluing into, and it's scaring them.
Potentially 46% of Americans are willing to return him.
That's MSNBC's fault.
The White House. It certainly lays out what this poll I think does. It should lay out to Democrats that this is going to be a close election. They can't take anything for granted. They should assume it's going to be decided by perhaps tens of thousands of voters in the swing states that we all know about, and they better get cracking now because there's a real risk. And I can't believe I'm saying this. There's a risk that Donald Trump could return to the White House.
He can't believe he's saying it, but he's got to say it because you know what? That's the reality. And that's what the polls are showing. And if Biden keeps up this nonsense, and if we are able to prove, which I do think, if the House moves forward with an impeachment trial, we will prove. We will see that there was a direct connection between what the son was doing and what the big guy was doing. If that gets proven out, it's game over. At that point, I guess they would welcome the opportunity to run somebody else like Kamala. Well, forget Kamala. Kamala's never, ever, 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 ever. You heard it here first, okay? I'm sorry. I'm a pretty good judge on these things. I can tell you who's going to be good on television, who's going to resonate with people, who actually has the je ne sais quoi. And by the way, the intellect to carry things forward. Kamala's not it. I promise you that. You have only to look at her polling data back in New Hampshire. New Hampshire, my home state, where we're usually, not always, but usually pretty consistent on selecting the winner as a first in the nation primary. Anyway, Kamala, no. Not happening. Definitely not happening. So they're going to have to go look around. I think Gavin Newsom is waiting in the wings, but he's got a whole series of policy failures that he's going to not really be able to live down. They'll just hope that he looks a little better and that he knows where he's going and that he doesn't fall over. This is how low the bar is, folks. Think about that. That's how low the bar. Can you walk up the steps of the plane? Can you not fall over at the Air Force graduation? I'm sorry, and I hate playing it, so I'll spare you that because I'm still an American no matter what. And I don't like seeing our president fall, but nobody does. And then I mean, what kind of decency does he have? His wife has COVID. He's running around doing all his public appearances still. and actually going so far as to put the Medal of Honor on a very elderly gentleman after having taken off his mask. I mean, huh?
Act of service to the nation and his comrades in arms.
He's taken off his mask. You know, he's like a little kid, you know, the 2-year-olds that they couldn't keep the masks on in the plane because they're irritating. And so the kid takes it off and then the mom's in trouble. He's like the 2-year-old taking off his mask. He doesn't want to wear it. Look.
Lord, buddy. I'm explaining to the press. I've been tested again today. I'm clear across the board. But they keep telling me because this has to be 10 days or something, I got to keep wearing it. But don't tell them I didn't have it on when I walked in.
Yeah. And then when he does walk in, he takes it off right away. By the way, I should also point out, he walked right out of that ceremony before they even did the benediction. Again, not seemingly knowing where the heck to go. Okay, so he's kind of out, right? Like if they don't actually run someone else, they will lose for sure, without a doubt. I mean, this was the Democrats' fault with Carter. And I did say this would be Carter 2.0 all over again. It certainly has been. Hey everyone, Trish Regan here. If you enjoyed that clip, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right over there. Did I do that right? Not quite, but you know where it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get the alerts, and I'll see you back on the show.